everybody, and we are here again for a new episode of the Figure Out English podcast for English learners. The transcript will be available as usual on figureoutenglish.com, as well as the learning notes and practice exercises. And let's start! Hello everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the Figure Out English podcast. I am trying not to melt down here because in Poland the weather is crazy and we are all, it's very hard to concentrate on work. And how are you doing? How is your summer going? Or maybe it's winter where you live. So what's going on with you? If you have noticed, I have used a lot of phrasal verbs in my welcoming speech to our today's episode. We have already talked about phrasal verbs, but they are so popular in conversational English, I want to continue talking about them. So if you remember, a phrasal verb, it is a combination of a verb with a preposition. So for example, when we have the verb get, with the first meaning to receive, yes, to get a message, to get an email, to get a package. But when I add the preposition down to get, so I get down, which means to disappoint. So you got me down, don't get me down. It is a shorter version of the verb disappoint. And this is very popular in English, and if you want to speak English fluently and understand the native speakers, what's the most important, you need to know the phrasal verbs. I am giving you my top 10 list of English speaking phrasal verbs, okay? And let's start. So first of all, figure out. Figure out. Figure out. We pronounce them together. Figure out means to understand. So I can't figure out what to do. Give me a minute to figure it out. Look at this connection, because in fast speaking they will say, give me a minute to figure it out. Very good one. Please use it in your own speaking. And now work something out. And this is very interesting because we can say to work out something, we can say to work something out, which means to make a solution, to find a solution. For example, don't worry about this problem. We will work something out. We will find some solution. We will work something out. The next one, point out. Point out, it is to show you. So for example, I'd like to point out the main things you need to remember. For example, the next video I will be making will be about emails, about writing emails. And in this video, I will be pointing out the main mistakes non-native English speakers make in emails. I will be pointing them out, showing to you. Okay, what's next? The next one is to bring up. To bring up is to show some topic, for example, to start talking about some topic. For example, well, she just got divorced. Don't bring up her husband in the conversation. Don't mention him. Don't talk about him. So, okay, why did you bring it up? Why did you start speaking about that? This is very good because if you don't know this phrasal verb, it will be quite a long phrase, but if you know them, this is how speaking works, yes? So we try to express a complex idea in a very short phrase. That's why, yes, don't bring up politics in our conversation, for example, right? Let's go on. So now we have two similar verbs, meaning to continue. So you can say to go on, you can say to carry on. And you add the in form of the verb usually after this phrasal verb. So let's carry on talking about phrasal verbs, you can say. Yes, so carry on teaching us, don't stop. So meaning to continue. Shorter version, better for phrases, so to say. And the next one is very unpopular with the non-native speakers, but native speakers of English use it very much. it is to come across. To come across. Okay, again, don't forget to make these connections between the words. To come across means to find something by chance. Yeah, so did you come across any interesting books lately? Did you find, by chance, any interesting books? Okay. Well, who knows what we will come across? Yeah, who knows what we will find, for example. And we go on. We are coming now to the trickiest phrasal verbs in English because the combinations with make, there are so many of them. And the next one really confuses my students a lot. I'm talking about to make up. Make up again, yes, so you will pronounce it as one word. What can make up mean? It can actually mean three things. So make up, it's to create. For example, you can say to make up a story. Let's make up some topic for our party, for example. Yes, so stop making up excuses. This is a very good example, yes, so creating excuses. Also, make up, yes, it is what I am trying to wear on my face in this weather. So, but usually we use it as a noun, so to wear, I am wearing makeup at this moment, yeah, for example. And another meaning for makeup, I've already talked about it in one of my videos. To make up means to become friends again after the fight. Generally, we use them in a pair. So when you have a fight, when you have a row, yes, you quarrel with somebody. In English, it is to fall out. Again, a very short phrasal verb. But when you stop having troubles in relationships, it's make up. So we fell out a week ago, but we have already made up. We are friends again, and again, it's used a lot in speaking. The next one, make out. Make out means to understand from listening. So, for example, what did you say? I couldn't make it out. Make it out, yeah? So, I can't make out what he is saying. This is also very good because there is no word for it. You can only express this idea with the help of this phrasal verb. That's why it's a top verb. And we are finishing with our list. So, how to say to complete something. So when you are, you need to complete a visa form, or you need to complete the report if it's a table, yeah? There are two different versions for this phrasal verb. In British English, we will say to fill in. Please fill in this form. You will often hear that. Can you fill in this form? In American English, we will say fill out. Can you fill out this form? I need to go and fill out my visa application, for example. Very handy. And the last one, the last but not the least, it's one of the most used phrasal verbs in English. I mean to give up. To give up means to stop, but it's more emotional, we can say, because you give up when you stop trying. For example, you give up learning German. I don't know. This is a hard language to learn. So, for example, you give up sport or something. You give up trying, usually, yeah? You stop doing that. So please don't give up learning English. I hope you know all these phrasal verbs now. Try to hear them in the speaking of anybody who you are talking to, yes, in English, and try to use them in your own speaking, step by step. Of course, I will continue talking about phrasal verbs. I hope you have enjoyed the episode, and see you! Thanks for listening. Please visit figureoutenglish.com for a free download of the transcript and learning notes. Don't forget to share and comment. Cheers!